So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So we are starting the last of the basic job quests today. So let us head out and get started on that. We should be here in Lenosha, so we just have to head downstairs. And this one is a tad unique in that once you finish it, it can branch off into two separate quests. And I will be doing them both. They will also share levels with each other, so the second master job quest will go relatively quickly in terms of videos, just because I'll already be level 50 by the time I take it on. So let us go down to the Arcanist Guild. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It's here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometrics, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence, to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. If you prefer an arcane art build on structured thought and precise reasoning, then your discerning intellect may find a home here at your guild. Might you consider enrolling yourself as an initiate? So this class is going to be very similar to Red Mage, so much so that I find it weird that it branches off into Scholar and Summoner. Summoner makes sense. Scholar, not so much. It would have made much more sense to branch off into Red Mage, especially saying this as someone who played Red Mage in Final Fantasy XI, as well as eventually Summoner. Just as I predicted. Before we proceed any further, however, let us first feed your appetite for knowledge with a morsel of guild history. The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in the mathematical terms. Building on the process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometrics, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave aether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as Arcanists, and the school of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard training vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa, Arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite, and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an Arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merwielb, I can never pronounce her name, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So at the Admiral's express orders, the official Arcanist Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you invite such cerebral challenges, then you have but to reaffirm your commitment to joining our guild. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild, or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Way of the Arcanist, let us begin, and our weapon is a book. It's going to be book for both Scholar and Summoner. Scholar, by the way, is going to be a healing class. Not my favorite one, probably my least favorite one. And Summoner is going to be a DPS class. And apparently it's been reworked like a ton, so it's very different from the beginning of the game, or so I'm told. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster that you now might convey your intention in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak to Mistress Thurbegeem. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. I wish I knew what language this was that all of these Highlanders are named after. You will find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy. Though her mind is sharp and critical, her manner is always most welcoming. But yeah, this is going to be the last of the basic classes, because any future jobs that they released in later patches, so Red Mage, Samurai, Reaper, etc., none of them have a base class. You just start out at level 30 in those classes themselves. So I feel like they maybe intended to have them branch off, but decided, maybe that's too much work. So they just give you the job stone outright when you start. Yes, I am Thurbegeem. Greetings, and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miria has doubtlessly already explained, I am serving as a guild master until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins. Allow me, then, to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of Aether. The evidence of this represented most aptly, perhaps, by your ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle, and the manner of magic with this ethereal ally employs at our command. So, in Final Fantasy XI, if you started up the job quests, you were also accompanied by a Carbuncle, and it would help you find the other summoned creatures via other quests. The core of this discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary. Even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle, this principle takes its precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An Arcanist is measured by their ability to calmly analyze a situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcanum will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? So this is sort of like, it's a mage class, but as I said, it's similar to Red Mage, so you'll have DPS and you'll have healing. Are you prepared to reason? I guess so. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Now let us see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. Here, take this grimoire in hand, and we shall next judge your aptitude for discipline. Well, it depends. Is it going to be a sassy grimoire? Like what follows you around in Nier? Arcanist has been unlocked. So let us get ourselves into that class. Equip the book. So I think too, if we open it here, yeah, you can see some of the symbols inside the book that are used to draw upon the energies for our spells. My first grimoire. It's a hefty tome, is it not? I promise you, a grimoire's weight becomes a comforting anchor amidst the shifting seas of battle, a fact you will soon discover. In Lower Lenosha, you will find, among others, 3 specialists of pests, wharf rats, little ladybugs, and orlae. I ask that you employ your fledgling skills in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee the opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing the preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. And I can finally start sorting out my mage gear too, because my poor armory chest is just stuffed full. I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, let's put on the other gear. Minus this, because this ring does increase how fast we level up, and it does help. Same with this. Let's get a quick food buff, even though it's technically not for the right class. I don't care. I'm just here for the experience boost, and we go forward. There is a downstairs, but that won't be until later. Let's head out to Lower Lenosha. And so what do we have for this one? We have Ruin, which is a non-elemental spell in some Final Fantasies. I remember it most from Final Fantasy XIII. Just because it allowed your warrior class to do stuff. Alright, what am I looking for here? Chocobo. Chocobo. It's in main commands. Chocobo. There we go. And just like with other mage classes, it is a casting one, so you need to hold still. However, when the path for this class branches, which I assume other ones were supposed to do as well, I will be starting with Scholar just because it confuses me greatly and I want the time to learn it. I understand Summoner pretty well, it's just Arcanist but stronger. Whereas Scholar is very different and I want to take the time to learn it proper. Yeah, we're leveling up super fast because of the food in the ring. Pets. You can now summon a pet to do your bidding. You only have access to 1 pet now, but there will be opportunities to acquire many more as you continue your adventures. Yeah, I already got a fluffy man right here, but thank you. But this one is special. Cast the spell Summon from your hotbar to complete the Arcane Pact. Once your pet is summoned, a separate hotbar known as the Pet Hotbar can be accessed by pressing the red bumper. The Pet Hotbar is present with all the pet commands currently available to you since this one's special, freeing up your normal hotbars for your personal actions and spells. The guard command orders your pet to guard his master, refraining from acting until you attack or are attacked. The steady command orders the pet to refrain from attacking until you specifically order him to do so. I will have steady. And the away command orders your pet to leave the battlefield. I don't even think it really guards you anymore, does it? Pet orders and actions can also be set to your other hotbars by selecting them from the pet tab under the orders and actions traits menu. So we now should have access to... Hello? Ah, there we go. We got summon him first. We can now summon our carbuncle. So if you want access to a wider array of spells as an Arcanist or as a summoner, you need to have carbuncle here. We can dismiss, I believe. Nope, that just resummons. Do we have a pet bar now? Oh my gosh. This class is a tad confusing. Please hold. Nope. We don't have access to that yet. I wonder if we build it ourselves. I used to have one automatically, so a little bit of clarity. When I first tried out this game, I tried it out prior to the blind stream. As I said, I made it a ways, and we're all in blind territory now, but when I first started, I tried it out in my trial version as a Arcanist, so that's why I'm a little more familiar with how this goes. And isn't he just the cutest? But in Final Fantasy XI, we also got a carbuncle like this, too. Solo level 3 carbuncle. Oh, this is new. This didn't used to be here. Keep in mind that it was like a year ago when I first tried out the game. There is some footage of that on my channel, but I started completely over due to personal reasons. And created a character more befitting my own self. Rather than how other people wanted me to play the game. Who ironically never ended up playing with me anyways. Funny. Oh well. Okay, there we go. Level 4. I might take out a few more just to get to level 5. And then we can get right on... Get on with it. We also have some new spells. Check these out. Physic, restore target's HP. So there's our healing. We can try it out. Yeah, it's not as strong as a white mage, so keep that in mind. If your white mage is really, really lacking, then you can use Physic or some other healing spell. And Radiant Aegis orders Carbuncle to execute Radiant Aegis. Creates a barrier around self that absorbs damage totaling to 20% of your maximum HP. Okay, so that's a barrier spell, so I'll stick it over there. Keep in mind, though, it has been like a full year since I have been an Arcanist, so I won't fully remember everything I need to do. Yeah, because I really did start this in summer of 2023, didn't I? Uh-huh. Now it's summer 2024. We've come full circle. Oh no, that's not reassigned to warrior. Let us... Forgot to do the thing. Create Arcanist. There we go. We can take the gloves off. Let's not wear down our gloves if we're not using them. We are level 5, so we can go back now. If I can... Really, it comes down from the top. I guess it does. I guess it does. I'm not used to this. Oh my god, I'm trying to click the damn crystal. Thank you. So yeah, new character, new you. we going? We can go from here. Why did I come up here? I've lost my mind. Guess I'm thinking about too many things. I see the creatures beyond the city walls posed you little threat. It is with great pleasure, then, that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth, you may proudly bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There is no finer teaching than the harsh mistress of experience. Ain't that the truth? And when you find that you can command Carbuncle as easy as you might move your own limbs, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. Next quest is at level 5, which we already are. What's in the box? A chant I've heard from every Kingdom Hearts fan. Ah, Bren, is it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leading to hurried judgment. I must oft remind my Arcanists to take meals, so ensconced do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lenosha. 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras, to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents to formulate an effective strategy and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for lunch. The irony being I technically ate both in real life and in the game right before this. Alright, dodos. Don't look, recipe. Don't look. Okay, Carbuncle is out. And mandragoras. Guessing they gotta be around here somewhere. This way. Thankfully the Gooboos are friendly. One more. There we go. And we get our new Carbuncle bar. Aether Charge. Grants Aether Charge, increasing the potency of Ruin 2 and Ruin 3 by 50 and Outburst by 20. Duration is 15 seconds. Grants Ruby Arcanum, can only be executed in combat and while Carbuncle is summoned. So, can I even do that yet? Or do I have to, like, charge it up first? Oh, there we go. I forget how this works. Okay, so the meter is going down. And I think eventually Ruby becomes unlocked. Yeah, it does. I need to find something quickly. Ruby Carbuncle, go! So we can shift change, and now we can use Ruby Ruin, which is a new move. I don't know why they don't just put it in the regular section until this calms down. So we have approximately 20 seconds to use Ruby Ruin, which is a more powerful spell. It's still Ruin, but it's like a better Ruin, if that makes sense. So basically this, Gem Shine, it says fire, earth, and wind damage. I don't think it is anymore. I think elemental aspects have been gone away. Channel the energies of your active elemental attunement to attack your enemy. Fire attunement deals fire damage to a single target. Earth attunement, earth damage. Wind attunement, wind damage. I don't think that is even a thing anymore. The trance gauge indicates the time remaining for the effects of Aether Charge. Executing this action also grants Ruby Arcanum, which is used to summon Rumen Carbuncle. Upon reaching level 15, it will grant Topaz Arcanum and summoning of Topaz Carbuncle. And at level 22, Emerald Arcanum for summoning Emerald Carbuncle. So I think red is like the slow but powerful hit. Each summon, when called forth, will tap into its respective Arcanum, granting you stacks of an elemental attunement. Sort of. Not really in the current patch anymore. Indicating the trance gauge. These elemental attunements will augment Gemshine and Perilous Brilliance required at level 26. So basically, Gemshine will change into different moves, depending on the Aether Charge. So we have our normal Carbuncle, we have Ruby, eventually we'll get Topaz and Emerald, which will give us different moves. So instead of spells per se, our little Carbuncle friend changes his colors. I remember red is like slow and powerful. I forget what yellow does. And then green, I think, is less powerful, but super duper fast. So you can just cast it back to back to back. I think I went to the Gaffle before because they're both A's. My dyslexic brain went, ooh. Welcome back. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing Archimen with a more practical examination? Our work at Maven's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have several crates transported to the cliff south of the Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates, then return to the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths of which some merchants will sink to deter their customers from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating vilekin, I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. In other words, we have to go inspect the cargo. Make sure we didn't get duped. This isn't the box I ordered, but it is a box. Yes, but no. You sense a hostile presence. Something got into the cargo. So normally I think we want to Aether Charge. I think you need to initiate combat first in order to be able to Aether Charge, but once it runs out, which I probably won't even have time to get to it, everything's probably gonna die. There we go. Now we can Ruby Arcanum and do more damage. Ooh, hello. Hiding behind the book won't help. I can still see you. I'm not a threat. Pray ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to cognate. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemy set against you. Yet, effective though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see. Taking into account your current level of ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, then applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios. Oh dear. My calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9785. What would that even be? The Bahamut nuke? We only go up to level 90 in this game. Well, we have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I'm Clea, a Maven's Gate Assessor. Acting Guildmaster Thurbergrim elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcanima. From what I've observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp for the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail. Regarding your choice of arcane geometrics, what factor most influences your actions during battle? Desire to outwit an enemy, potential for amusement. I simply do what feels right. Vibes. I go by vibes. Ah, just as predicted! And now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an Arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responds to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. While our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with the most notorious saying to date. Strategy is the key used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty Arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcanima. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray return directly to the guild. I believe Mrs. Thurbergrim is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there's no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. Yeah, this is one of the harder classes, I think, personally, to figure out. Just because it's not a 1-2-3 combo like every other class seems to be. This one's like, pay attention to the whole hotbar at all times. Always. So naturally, of course, I had to start with the hardest one. Alright, let's go to the guild. Ah, Bren, have you returned with the cargo? Practice crate. It's a fake. Yes, everything seems to be in order, relatively clear of blood and other gore. I can be something of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Clea regarding your performance. She seems eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instructions she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to our art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tome Clea carries? The Initiate's grimoire has served her from this day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see that she kept it all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day. Continue your practice with Carbuncle, as Clea has bid. I will be here when the time has come for your next lesson. Okay, any better stuff? No. So we're just gonna go with money in a new book. Becoming level 7. So with that, this is where I'm gonna have to take a pause and get myself up to at least level 10 or 20. I'm DPS, so again, this might take a while until I get up to Scholar, but be back when I'm done. Alright, level 15, and I've got the outfit to boot, albeit in green instead of gray. So let's go on to tactical planning. Yes, Bren, the time has come for your next lesson is upon us. You're keeping well, I trust. Taking the occasional brisk walk. One cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Oh, trust me, I'm doing that plenty with the legendary weapon grinding. Now, assuming you have been following Clea's instructions, you should be ready to face the more dangerous threats found in western Lenosha. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. 'Tis the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test case, and the second to test your hypotheses. The third to perfect the tactics you devised. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist of more than simply flinging ruin over and over again. You are not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought reflect that. You shall find yourself wanting for other approaches. Consider an assault with ruin in tandem with attacks from your carbuncle. When timed appropriately, you can deal a crippling blow to your opponent. That's right, I need to summon my carbuncle. He kinda desummons every time you log out. So roselings are over here. But I do believe I've mentioned those attacks earlier. Basically just defeat them, use whatever you want. But we have to attack at least once first. Aether Charge to get access to the other things. And we can also use Energy Drain, which didn't go off quite like I was supposed to because I'm dumb and I haven't played this in a few days, which charges this down here. And so you can fire off a Fester, which is just basically an off-global cooldown. Oh my god, words. An off-global cooldown or instant attack button like the other classes have. I don't know why they made it 2 buttons. That makes no sense to me. I feel that's a leftover from a previous patch that they never quite addressed, because apparently Summoner has been reworked a billion times. And since Arcanist is just baby Summoner. But yeah, whenever Fester goes, feel free to energy drain a target instead. Use the proper one. And you get to fire off 2 free casts of something. Just non-elemental damage. Like I said, I don't know why they didn't just make this a 30-second timer, but... And I could Aether Charge, but we're almost done. Alright, back to Lenosha. Yeah, I feel like Arcanist and Summoner have some of the most grid clutter. I'm already getting skills back and going, wow, this could be 1 button. So much of this could be condensed. These could be a button. This could be pretty much all 1 thing, aside from the carbuncles themselves. Why is Aether Charge and then Gem Shine like their own things? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of patching Summoner could use to make it just a little bit more quality of life friendly. Welcome back. How did it feel to conquer such ferocious foes? Let us ride that wave of triumph onto an even more demanding and dangerous challenge. Your next training exercise will have you accompany the Foreseer Clea on one of her inspections. This experience will afford you the opportunity to witness firsthand the practical applications of Arcanima. Pray do not tarry. Clea awaits you on the floor below with further details. Okay, now we go down the stairs. Which is, I believe, this way. stairway I almost always go down every time I try to leave the guild because I forget doors are a thing in this game. Because most of the time they aren't. But every rare occasion, we find doors. A timely experience as expected. Shall we proceed directly to the job at hand? I have been tasked with examining the wares of a goblin peddler caravan run by the Boyle-Strux family. Our agents suspected these beastmen merchants of dealing in forbidden goods. As such, I have calculated that announcing an inspection has a 60% chance of inviting physical violence. I have prepared a strategy to respond to this possible shift to hostilities, but there's an important precondition you should be made aware of before we discuss the finer points of my plan. Though I am considered gifted by the formation of tactics, I lack reflexes and coordination necessary to employ many of these self-same strategies on the field of battle. Pray keep this factor in mind and adjust your perceptions accordingly. Now, should the goblins offer battle, you are to execute combat pattern 1345, otherwise known as stratagem focus fire. You and your carbuncle will concentrate your attacks on a single foe, and one by one, the enemy will wither until the combined outslot. Probability of victory 95%. Reports place the peddlers in the vicinity of the cookpot in Middle Lenosha. I will depart immediately to assess the situation. Seek me out once you arrive. I think she's saying focus on the main enemy. That really depends on the combat strategy. Normally if there's ads, you want to take out the ads, unless she intends to take them out somehow. Or we have hired help. Duty calls, battle commences, which means of course it turned hostile. I am Foreseer Clea of Maven's Gate. You are to cease all transactions and surrender your goods for inspection. Nasty sneaky peekers, gobby split uplander nosy eyes on stabby iron. He says he's gonna stick a knife in her face. A predictably aggressive response. Very well, Bren. Remember what we discussed. Books out. Make sure your carbuncle's been summoned. Strike with all your might. I can't execute your condition. They're all the same enemy. He's getting away. Evasive maneuvers! Switch to evasive maneuvers! Oh, I hate that. I hate when they have like one left. It should be noted that with Ruby Rain you only get 2 charges right now. I'm actually going to use that on the other one because I can kill this one with Ruin. So do I have revive yet? No, I don't think I do. Duty complete. Don't fully understand what we beat them up for, but... Nicely done. Adaptation, improvisation. I might have been observing our beloved guildmaster himself in action. This was the perfect example of how the strategy for a given task should be tailored to the abilities of the assessor. In other words, before you begin formulating your tactics, it's necessary to fully understand your own strengths and weaknesses. I guess doing trade without a permit is getting worthy of beat up. On that note, there's another question I would ask you. When it comes to improving the probable success of a strategy, do you consider it more effective to concentrate on playing to your strengths or shoring up your weaknesses? It's kind of the same thing, honestly. Oh, again you respond to the guild as the guild monster once did. I must revise the probability of your potential to attain greatness to 97%. You are one to keep an eye on, that much is certain. But to return to the subject of battle plans, your calculations must include an accurate assessment of your available techniques and their relative effectivenesses. This is required to be critically aware of your own limits, of the limits of your allies, and the characteristics of your enemies. I believe that covers everything for today. Please return to the guild and make your report to Mistress Thurbergrim until we meet again. I shall abide here until the Yellow Jackets arrive to take the peddlers into custody. My strategies will keep me company. I guess if they're all tied up, I don't need to babysit. Actually, really quick, do you say anything else? Assuming precondition C, the execution of combat maneuver B would impact scenario A in a manner which would precipitate... Yeah, okay, she's just in her own little world. And you can move these HUDs, by the way. I moved it down here. I might do that for future classes as well. I'm just so used to them being in this particular spot, but this one takes up, like, so much space. Back from the field, Clea contacted me with a summary of events. It seems you were treated to the lecture of Knowing Thyself. That particular lesson is ordinarily taught to only intermediate practitioners. Without a sufficient store of combat experience from which to draw, it is difficult to fully appreciate the profanity of such a seemingly simple truth. Nevertheless, I feel confident that you will soon be ready for a more ambitious assessment. Keep to your studies and maintain the razor edge of your mind. Basically, you can't accurately answer unless you already have some degree of combat experience. Level up. We get a better book. Topaz Teachings. This is our Topaz Carbuncle, which also changes our Aether charge as well, so we can now summon Topaz. You seem tired. Are you sleeping properly? One's reasoning can suffer without sufficient rest and recuperation. Should you deem yourself fit for study, pray make your way down to the practice floor. Foreseer Clea has requested your company on another official inspection. There is, however, a requirement for your participation. The Foreseer will explain the situation. Back down the stairs. I think. Yeah. I was beginning to think I'd miscalculated. Thank you for coming. I will soon be boarding a trading vessel suspected of smuggling. All merchant ships that make use of Limsa ports are subject to inspection by Maven Gate assessors. It's a routine I perform daily. In the case of smugglers, however, there is a 75% probability of encountering resistance. Thus, I would appreciate your company during this assignment. Again. It is now that we must discuss the requirement of which you were informed. Though I have full confidence in your martial experience, it is imperative that you first acquire the ability to summon Topaz Carbuncle. Such knowledge will be released to you contingent on your acceptance of this duty. Very good. The arcane entity given form by the Topaz geometry will further expand your offensive capabilities. With such an ally at your command, even the harshest of enemies will falter before you. Indeed, we could not conduct these dangerous spot inspections without its support. Please return to Mistress Thurbergrim and inform her of your participation. I will join you once I have completed some final adjustments to my tactical formulae. And now we get to run back up the stairs. You've agreed to accompany the Foreseer, then I shall gladly instruct you in the use of Topaz Carbuncle. Pray do not hesitate to employ this entity in combat should the inspection turn sour. So I get ahead of time. Technically, part 15 has 2 quests then. was thinking that with some of the other jobs, I noticed that occasionally there would be 2 for each, for particular sections. It wasn't just along the 5s, it was based off of skills. The mercenaries Gaisfrin and Erstotha are here to assist with the inspection. Both are old hands when it comes to escorting Clea during her more dangerous duties. We have a white mage and a marauder. Well met. My spells are at your disposal. This won't be the first time we're expecting trouble, but as long as we follow the Foreseer's tactics and keep a clear head, we'll come through just fine. Weren't you in my marauder quests, actually? I think I recognize one of them. The Morning Star is prepared to dock at Aleport. We'll meet our first challenge, however, before we even board the vessel. It is almost certainly the merchant ship was hired a thug or 2 to accost us at the pier. I calculate the probability at 98%. The crew wish to avoid attacking us on the deck, you see, as that would all but trumpet their criminal intentions to the world at large. Now once we do manage to clear the rails, we will face a deck crowded with armed sailors. For a small party such as ours, the most effective strategy will be to implicate individual foes as swiftly as possible. Each opponent we down as one less weapon raised against us. It's imperative that we do not allow ourselves to become tangled in multiple drawn-out skirmishes, lest we be overwhelmed. I call this stratagem Hammerfall. So basically, as a summoner, I think they're saying focus on one enemy at a time, as opposed to like black mages, which have AoEs. Eventually, white mage gets an AoE too. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one situation to the desired reality. Keep those words in mind. It is time we departed, lest we regroup before the main gates of Aleport. Although you get it at like level 50. So I think we're more single target. Sort of like Dragoons. Dragoons also eventually get an AoE, but for the most part, they're meant to be more single target attackers. Maybe she's up top. Okay, she's gotta be up top. No? Oh, she's down here. I can't see her. This is the angles. We're counting on you to cut us a path to the landing boat. The Foreseer will be safe with us. Let us be about our task. Pray inform the steersman at the pier that we are ready to conduct the inspection. Should violence be offered, you are to execute stratagem Hammerfall. Do not forget, your tactics are both your shield and your weapon. To the boat. Here with the folks from Maven's Gate? Aw, hells, I knew there'd be trouble. Suddenly, combat. Why did they put it in the left one? If need be, you could also put these guys to sleep. Whatever one you're not focusing on, I mean. Actually, what does this do really quick? Orders it to execute. Rushes target and deals earth damage, which I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, with a potency of 400. This is also a potency of 400. Cast is instant, recast is 2.5. 2.5. Gem Shine and Precious Billions become earth aspected, duration 30 seconds. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is anymore, aside from like Earth and Fire attunement, which I don't even think is a thing in this modern patch, but they probably haven't changed that. Well then, I'm certainly glad to see you can handle yourself. You'll find the landing boat just down here at the end of this ramp. I'll have no part of what comes next, though. Gotta take the dinghy out to sea. Deftly handled. Once again, I'm reminded of our guildmaster. That could be a compliment or an insult, actually. Thanks to your efficient response, we'll be able to commence this inspection earlier than I had calculated. We shall board the merchant vessel out in the bay. Erstoda, if you would take the rudder, the Morning Star awaits. We have to row out to something that has sails. It's like a bit like riding your bike to catch up to a car. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really unlikely. Since their welcoming party at the pier failed to deter us, I expect with a probability of 85% that our arrival will incite further belligerence. Our objective, however, is not to trade blows, but to gain access to the hold. It may behoove us to employ stratagem hardhead. The aim of our opponents is to buy time so that the suspect goods may be tossed into the ocean. I do not intend to give them that time. We will bull our way towards the cargo hold as quickly as we can. With that kind of steering mechanism, though? It is a tactic fraught with risk, but one that your presence makes possible. Shall I begin? That kind of rudder, though, is only for the most simplest of movements. If we're doing this manually, we'd all have to be rowing. Maybe it's a pedal boat. I am Foreseer Clea. By the authority of Maven's Gate, I request that you surrender the goods for assessment. Well, now your timing couldn't be worse, lass. The old door's all rusted up, you see. Bloody thing won't open. You'll have to come back after another day as we fix the hinges. I will see that cargo now. Any vessel entering the port of Limsa Lominsa is bound by the law to submit to a routine inspection. The law, is it? Lads, I reckon it's time our guest had themselves a little accident. Pitch him over the side. I can't believe they didn't give us an actual ship for this. Alright, now that we have a marauder, I can see why they'd want us to focus on some of the other things. No, no, don't focus on me. I'm trying to protect the healer. Okay, she says she wants me to try Topaz. Oh, it's an instant cast. This. But now I've got an angry man on my tail. Clea, you okay? Our healer's having a little trouble keeping up. Aether charge again. Use your freebies. Where are they going? Oh, don't take out my healer. Why won't you? Oh my gosh. I wouldn't lock onto the right person. Looks like everything. Is it not? Is there somebody down there in the pit? There's somebody in the pit. Oh my god. A masterful display, Bren. Now we can finally gain access to their cargo. Something alive in there? What have we here then? It's one of the bitch admiral's lapdogs scampering about me ship. Surprised you didn't hear the commotion. Just like your mistress, always sticking your nose in where it ain't invited. No, it can't be. Huh, recognized my pretty face, did you? But you were caught, exiled. Well, he ain't exactly in town, so he's technically still exiled. Foreseer, are you hurt? Can you stand? Stay back. You stay away from me. Foreseer, please calm down. What are your orders? I've had enough of your whimpering, and I've certainly had enough of these bloody books. It's clear you ain't learning anything from them. I have extras. You can use one of mine. Reckon it's time you got a different kind of lesson. Or heck, just take mine and I'll class change. Clea, Nofika, preserve us. She's fainted. We must withdraw. Run quickly. Back to the boat. We carry the Foreseer. Just let me job change, man. Ah, that's right. You slink back to your mistress, you worthless curs. I can go axe to axe with the man. Head back to the Arcanist Guild. We're lucky they didn't blow the cannons on us. How we got away from that boat, I have no idea. They would literally have to let us go. It's faster than us. It's good to see you well. Glyph's friend sent word ahead of your travels, an unfortunate turn of events, but considering the infamous black heart you faced, you must have fared much worse. Have you heard of the Prior Dozmaga? Dozmaga? I don't know. He was exiled from Limsa some years ago, but it appears he has chosen to defy the Admiral's orders. And once more, he dares lays a hand on Foreseer Clea. The poor lass must have been terrified. If I had known Dozmaga was aboard the ship, I never would have assigned her that duty. The assessor may require some time to recover. For Clea, that man is a nightmare made flesh. Though her physical wounds will soon mend, there is little we can do to salve the hurt to her mind. You are concerned? Angry, mayhap? Harness that energy, and channel it into your training. I predict we'll be needing your skills again before long. Can we get another book? Maybe give her one of these. I know she was maybe partial to the other one, but, like, you need a book in the meantime. Okay, can't equip gear to head, so we'll pass. Normally it's best to avoid those if you can. Unless you're brand new and you have nothing else, in which case go for it, but... There we go. Get a blue book. Maybe assign her a new one as well. But in the meantime, we have to get ourselves leveled up, so I'll probably see you once I'm either, like, 25 or 30. I might go all the way to the... for leveling. We'll see. It depends. We've got Arcanist up to level 30, so let's see if we can finish up these quests. Pincer Maneuver. Greetings, Bren. In case such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I am ever willing to lend an ear if you find your thoughts troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems that Clea does not. The Foreseer has been missing since this morning. There have been other times when she has disappeared without a word, but we have always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the Guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devote themselves overmuch to Arcanima are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. She's depressed. She got beaten, she met someone who terrified her, and he threw her precious book into the sea. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind as to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It's not uncommon for Clea's wanderings to take a path through the markets. That's just the shopping district. It should just be further out this way. As soon as I... Hang on. Damn it! Yeah, it's about halfway. But it's still faster to teleport. You seek a Mihote agent of Maven's Gate? Why, yes, I've seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. The assessor was drilling me for details about a Kirin smuggling ring based in Haleport, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. If you wish to know her fate, then I suggest you speak with Ginade of the Coral Tower. And I find him where? Oh, he's at the Marauders Guild. Speaking of which... Let's get back to business then. Probably went the wrong way entirely, but oh well. When you're feeling out of sorts and you take the wrong teleport crystal. Foreseer Clea? Yeah, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of Pirate Dozmaga. A member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you're already aware of this, but the Foreseer was once held captive by the Rabid Sea Dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dozmaga. It's been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus we hope to borrow the knowledge of Foreseer Clea, whose experiences have given her an immediate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves instead providing the details of our search. Should you speak with Foreseer Clea, I imagine she has already returned safely to the guild. Or she struck out on her own because she has a bruised ego. I actually don't remember too much of this quest anymore. I don't remember Summoner almost at all. Back already? You were led to believe she had returned here? I'm afraid not. So the Yellowjacks told you something of her history with Dozmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dozmaga's banishment was the result of a sudden inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirate's merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into the squalid hold. Among those prisoners was a young Mihote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Clea was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of the fearful days with the gift of the Initiate's grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she has carried her entire career. Oh, she was one of the slaves. Of course, did you not mention that Clea's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that a Kirin merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods the crew of the Morningstar heaved into the ocean. Even now, he gloats over his salt-encrusted catch in Aleport. It'd be ruined, though, wouldn't it? It's entirely possible that the Four Seers' most prized possession was caught up in the Kirin salvage net. I've no doubt that Clea has reached the same conclusion. To Aleport with you. This is where you will find our wayward assessor. But why by yourself? You have friends now. Let us help you. Where? There. Yes. Combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expanded contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Friend, it's good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain, when so many variables are involved. But there's good news. This prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve this tome matching my description of my lost grimoire. The Minson law and the policies of Mavengate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official inspection, but alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition, thus I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Key. It's time I gathered to me such allies as I possess, and count you as one of them. Despite the nature of the endeavor, Mistress Thurbergrim has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at the Ocean's Embrace. That is where we shall ambush the disputable Kirin. Sorry, I need to cough in between some of these takes. It's not a good air quality day. Let's go to the Embrace. Oop. Wasn't watching where I was going, went straight in the pool. And now too, I can start finally getting rid of my level 30 gear for mages. Clear up so much inventory space. Greetings, your arrival completes our small company. You're equipped for battle, I trust. We need not await Clea's arrival. Once the Kirin appears on the bridge, we spring your ambush. The strategy for trapping our target relies on two allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincer maneuver was, naturally, the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Kirin is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue as to avoid attracting attention. But do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance and will likely join the fray after hostiles ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellow Jackets. They cannot be seen aiding us in what amounts to a personal matter. But they are willing to turn a blind eye for Clea's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactics account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured. Now let us take up our positions and wait for the Kirin to arrive. Before the Calamity gouged out a ravine here, this used to be one long, unbroken peninsula. Of course, seeing as the Morby dry docks around the side opposite of the city, construction on the bridge went forward soon as you could blink. It ain't quite done yet, but the Embrace is sturdy enough for fully laden wagons to trundle across. Should not be concerned, I have memorized the Foreseer strategy down to the last detail. For the moment, you need only wait at the Kirin's arrival. Yeah, this quest is about as far as I remember. I technically got farther than that, but I wasn't in a good headspace when I did it, so I don't remember most of it. It begins! Alright, summon. HP. Archers are annoying, so you can go first. Those guys are green, so they're on our side. Will I even need to use? Oh yeah, there they come. Alright. Time to get serious. Yellow, go! Oh, there's a healer. Where's the healer? Oh, it's you! Well, that was fast. Kirby didn't even get a chance. Oh, there's more. I see. Oh my gosh, they just keep coming. Any healers? Don't think so. Oh yes, right here. Oh no, it was interrupted. It was wasted. Okay, that wasn't them healing, was it? Sometimes it can be a tad difficult to tell who's doing what. This appears the last of them. Now to find the Four Seers Grimoire. It's on the back of the cart. Little dude staying here like, I am not getting involved. There are more pressing matters at hand. Duty complete. Well executed, everyone. Were you able to retrieve my grimoire? Bren, pray hand over the tome. It's ruined. My wonderful grimoire is ruined. The probability of repairing this degree of damage is 0%. Even the most brilliant strategy cannot undo such savage ravages of seawater. I have never felt so defeated. I believe it is time I returned home. Leave her be. But how can I? He is right, Aristoda. You must allow Kalia time to process the loss. And you have other matters to attend to. Come, Bren, it's time we return to the guild as well. Even though it's ruined, she can keep it as a memento, though. We can get her a new one, if it's for actual battle and study. I know it's heartbreaking, but if you can't repair it, you can still keep the broken one as a memento and cherish it for what it was, while still maybe creating or finding a new grimoire that suits yourself. Not quite the victory we imagined, was it? The moment Clea beheld her eyes to the soaked and tattered grimoire, you could see the light of hope die in her eyes. There is, however, something we can do. I will call on your aid soon, but in the meantime, you would be well served to deepen your knowledge of Arcanima. Okay, anything here? Just the gill. Grimoire Fandango instead of Grim Fandango. Very funny. Have you come to ask about Clea's condition? The Foreseer is unchanged. She walks about as if all the joy in life has been leached from her soul. I believe the only one who can help her now is the same person who broke Clea out of her shell the first time, our absent guildmaster. And, though I am leery of the coincidence, the man himself has at long last been spotted. Should you seek out his last known location, it is unlikely he will still be there. And even should you catch him, he may not deign to speak with you. He says he needs to speak with me, I can just drag him back here. Nevertheless, this may be our only chance. Pray travel to Memaroon's trading post in Upper Lenosha, and speak with anyone who might have seen the guildmaster. Can I get, like, a description? Oh, and one more thing. Though he prefers us not to use it for some inexplicable reason, our leader's name is Kritia. Well, Mihote then. That's still one heck of a request. Hey, I need you to go find just one random Mihote. Big. And it's raining. Apparently it's all kind of weather today. Here in the Eorzea realm. Weather everywhere, ruining my thumbnails. Evening. I was the one that sent word of your guild about spotting your leader. It's a rare sight to see Kritia roaming about. He asked me the way to Thalos. Could be he was seeking to speak with the scholar who lives out there. Thalos? Wait, do you say anything else? I'm not used to seeing you here. That's my fishing spot. Nope. Nice. Oh, I thought that was a battle mist, but it's not. Down here? No? Maybe? Oh, I see him. I see him lurking. Where'd the beetle go? It was right here. Hello there. Why, yes, I did receive a visit from a gentleman identifying himself as the Arcanist Guildmaster, an odd fellow, but obviously possessed of a well-rounded education. As it so happens, he bid me pass on a message to anyone who came searching for him. Ahem. Reunited, the 3 slips of parchment hold the problem to the solution. The Guildmaster mentioned that the slips of parchment are concealed among the bones of Thalos. I suppose you expect to search for them. I guess. Since apparently I have nothing better to do. Really quickly, I need these. While we're here. I can also technically use this as a chance to charge my Arcanima for future battles, because I think it stays. I think it stays until you use it. There we go, beetles. And some gems for big damage. Why throw rocks when you can just throw the whole carbuncle? Okay, where are you pointing me? Here, where? I'm assuming you meant the bones of the dragon, but I didn't see much. Maybe up top? Hello? I am so confused. Find the hidden slips of parchment. Okay, there's one. Just leave it out in the rain, why don't you? Where is... Sometimes it's better to just look down. There's one. I could have sworn one was like in the lower portions of the bones. But maybe I'm misremembering. Oh yeah, there it is, there it is. This is the one I was thinking of that I couldn't find for the longest time. Come on! Have you tracked down the 3 slips of parchment? Interesting. They actually exist. To be perfectly honest, I thought we had been sent on a wild dodo chase. Don't listen to him, Recipe. Let's have a look at these, shall we? Well penned by Ancient Allegan, no less. In Ancient Allegan, no less. Fortunately for you, I have a passing familiarity with the script. Seek the box at Fool's Falls, dance a jig for your wooden audience, claim the secret from the opened heart. A most cryptic set of instructions, I must say. Do you intend to follow them? This guildmaster of yours certainly enjoys his games. What choice do I have? The lid of the box is jammed shut. Oh, right, dance. Dance, fool! I'm assuming he's just watching and opens it with magic. The box rattles and thumps about as something within seeks to be freed. It appears the lid has been loosened somewhat. This man... Is there a point to this? Sir? Oops. Didn't mean to swift cast. Hello? Open the wooden box. I'm attempting to. There it goes. It didn't shift over. Maybe the server's slow. You find a slip of parchment inside the box. If there are answers you would seek, then to the trading post now go. Before the owner, be not meek. With your 2 feet, provide a show. I have to dance again? That is a different class, sir. Funny Mihote dance, funny dance. You dance funny dance too? I guess so. What choice do I have? Ah, no, that was most entertaining. I must have something to amuse me during these little jaunts back to civilization, you understand. And this is why you aren't welcome in it! Based on my evaluation of your abilities, however, I calculated that you would arrive at this point somewhat earlier. You balked at the dancing, didn't you? I never expected you to be so shy. Another variable to add to your list of characteristics. I keep extensive mental notes of all the guild members, you see. As an Arcanist, it was a simple matter to engineer events so that I might meet you face to face. After all, strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation to the desired reality. And so I do enjoy seeing others dance in the palm of my hand, as it were. So you're kind of just a jerk, actually. Here, you may have this. Think of it as payment for your performance. This looks very heavy and expensive. Can you, like, see your student? She misses you? Though you might consider passing the tome on to Clea. That is the reason you sought me out, was it not? Before you give Clea the grimoire, however, I must insist that you dance for her. I will know if you don't. All this banal interaction has simply exhausted me. It's time I return to my studies. You, on the other hand, should travel forthwith to the Anchor Yard in Limsa. Be well. We shall meet again. I'm 100% certain of it. You could just see her yourself, asshole! Where is Anchor's Alley? I don't actually fully know what that is. Yes, thank you. No, that's actually upstairs. I probably could have taken the stairs from the Arcanist Guild, but I'm not super duper familiar. Wait, what? Hello? Hey. Turn around. My mind is ordinarily a whirlwind of possibilities and feints and counterattacks, but now there's naught but silence. This is how it used to be, and perhaps how it will always be from now on. Here, your boss asked me to pass a message on to you, and a present. Also, he's a dick. Were you always one for dancing? I don't recall any such Oh, you met with our guildmaster, haven't you? That would explain your odd behavior. He does so enjoy seeing people perform unexpected acts of frivolity. But what could have spurred our recent guildmaster to speak with you in person? The new grimoire. The leather bindings of this recently crafted tome is uncracked. Its pages still crisp. Oh, it's brand new, huh? He gave you this grimoire to give to me? Uncanny. It's identical to the tome I received the first time I met our leader. But it looks so different. What did you do to it? You have my thanks. The guildmaster is fond of games and mischief, and I understand the troublesome trials he likely put you through before deeming you worthy of his attention. With this gift, however, his message to me is abundantly clear. I am to shape reality into the one I desire. And that means defeating Dozmaga. Gods, my mind is alive again with strategies. I must have time to think. Pray inform Mistress Thurbergrim of my return to duty. Assuming precondition C, the introduction of variable M would alter scenario A in a manner which would pre-force require... Yeah, she's fine. Oops. Fine. Alright, I'm warping back down. Save time. Warp to warp. Clea has recovered from her despondency. This is wonderful news, and we have you to thank for it. It is unfortunate, however, that both Clea and our guildmaster are possessed of such impenetrable personalities. But at least in the case of the Foreseer, we have an inkling as to the nature of the cage that imprisons her. I continue to hope that our partnership with you shall gradually pry those bars apart. Return to your training, and prepare yourself for the demanding tactics Clea is sure to formulate in her days ahead. Just more money. We're level 31 now. Okay, I think this is the last one. Sinking Dozmaga. I've been expecting you. As ever, Clea's predictions proved accurate almost down to the moment, and her mind is especially sharp with such a dangerous confrontation in the offing. The Yellow Jackets have contacted us with word of Dozmaga. It appears his merchant vessel is presently anchored off the coast of the Bloodshore. Once the pirate's business there is concluded, rumor has it that he intends to embark on an extended voyage to the east. It will be some time before he returns once more to Limsa. If we pass up the opportunity, Clea will lose her chance to settle the score with Dozmaga. Then we risk the Foreseer stumbling once more into the blackest melancholy. Simply getting close enough to Dozmaga will prove difficult. Clea has, however, already formulated a solution, and has set her grand strategy into motion. Your first task is in undertaking the travel to Costa del Sol, and delivering the set of directions to a fisherman by the name of Wheelzern. More instructions will be forthcoming. Easy enough. This one's probably going to be more battle. Just because it's, looking by what they give me, probably the last piece. Damn, it's just raining all over Eorzea today. Usually it's like confined in a zone. We're just gonna be raining sideways today, huh? What did you want? As you can see, I have my hands full with my fishing. Thanks for that. I've been told to expect you. Are you one to take my earrings and deliver it to the cook, Oplonia? If you want to communicate with the sea and your bounty, you still gotta still your spirit and surrender your senses. When the fish ain't biting, you might as well enjoy the peace and quiet, huh? Is this code for something? What's with the fish? Yes, and how might I help you? Master Gegeruju is expecting his breakfast any minute now. Herring so fresh it still flaps its fins in one final desperate attempt to propel itself from your pack, through the air and back to the sweet salt water it once called home. Sorry, fishy. A fresh herring? Why, the master does enjoy a bite of broiled fish of a morning. It might even earn me a few extra coins for this week's wages. Well, you have earned yourself one of my homemade eel pies. I should tell you, though, your Arcanist colleague wasn't quite as insistent that you take the pie to Master Gegeruju rather than scoff it down yourself. I feel like you all are messing with me. Master Gegeruju is exceedingly particular when it comes to quality, so be hired as his personal chef is quite the honor. It is, however, a daily trial to create dishes that meet his demanding expectations. Oop, not you. And what brings you to my, and I use the term fastidiously, humble abode? Such a heavenly aroma. Are you perchance carrying an eel pie about your person? How commendable that you should research the delicacies that tickle my fancy before daring to intrude upon my most ponderous of ponderings. Why do so many people here in Eorzea fancy eel pies? How do so many people keep getting persuaded by eel pies? How commendable that you should research the delicacies that tickle my fancy before daring to intrude upon my most ponderous of ponderings. Speaking of ponderous, well, I was speaking of it at least. I have a hefty purse of gil to persuade you to relinquish your claim on that pastry. The culinary Oplonia would have you believe her homemade eel pie is far more delicious than Mother Muni's realm-famous handmade eel pie. One moment, if you will. I have been instructed by a Maven's Gate assessor to hand over a message to whoever delivers an eel pie to Master Gegeruju. Is this necessary? Take the purse you received from Master Gegeruju and hand it to the dancer Eldgith as she prepares to return home. Signed, Clea. Wait, do you say anything else? Not really. Okay. Then away we go. To... somewhere. You. Yes, if you're looking for a dancer, then I would first see your coin. I have 3 children to feed and no time to waste on idle chat. Oh my, that is quite a purse. My precious darlings will eat like kings at this week. And such a simple job as well. I was told to expect you see. In return for the coin, I am to give you these. The leather satchel from your Mihote friend, and the perio is from me. The last item you are to deliver to Drogo, the warehouse foreman. I've got no time for the likes of you. If you don't got me work squared away soon, the master will give me my head on a pike. You got something for me, you say? Well, worn perio, colored for cotton undergarment, worn for countless summers by the dancers. Huh? Is this Edelgleo's perio? That Mihote lass said someone would bring me a gift what I couldn't refuse, and stick me with a pitchfork if she's willing to tell the God's own truth. Here, you're supposed to have this bottle of wine. What is with the telephone of goods? Take it to the Flying Shark and pour a cup for the sailors what are drinking there. That's what she told me to tell you, Any Road. I'd watch my back if I were you, though. Them sailors are the meanest bunch of cutthroats I ever did see. What the hell is with the errands? You want me to taste your wine, eh? Well, now I ain't one to pass up free grog. Wine so old, no one alive can remember when it was bottled. The cork appears to still be intact. Lamian's teats, now that's a bloody fine drop. If we ship this stuff to the east, we'll be selling bottles by the crate. You're coming with us back to the Morning Star. The captain will want to have a word with you. I guess I'm going on a ride. There's a good person. That's for you. Miss Dancer, you stick close to hold her scrat. It gets damn cold on the long sea voyages. You dressed up as a dancer. I mean, maybe it was her old profession. We'll talk later. I'm being taken on a journey. Yeah, I know you. What with you following that half-crazed Inspector hither on in his madcap cases, I reckon you worked up quite the thirst. I've got a fine vintage I reckon you may fancy. Not now, sir. I'm working. I can't do this drunk. Actually, I could probably do this drunk, but my reputation will be in smithereens. I'm actually a weirdly competent drunk. Hush now. Make ready. I'll need that satchel you retrieved from Edelgeth in a short while. You ready then? We'll be off as soon as the boat's loaded. I guess he thinks I'm a wine peddler. I don't know what all the 50 steps were for, but still. Ah, fine grog and fine women. The captain will be pleased with this haul. Pray do not stare so. This was the most expedient method of gaining access to the ship. He's right there. Should we be talking? I will take that satchel from you now. You may have it back after I take the items I need. Huh? What mischief are you two about? I was merely borrowing some clothes. You wouldn't wish me to catch a chill from this brisk ocean air, would you? You'll be dancing yourself warm once we get to the ship. Yeah, well, we're not on the ship. Are we? You got your grimoire under there? You better slip off that ratty robe before you meet the captain. Of course, of course. How'd you put the other clothes on underneath? I'll be happy to show him the performance that awaits. The bitch is Admiral Lapdog. Come back for a lesson, have ya? It is I who shall be teaching this day. My lecture will focus on the manipulation of reality through applied strategy. Oh, you can just summon that like a keyblade? Enough of this damn yapping. By the time I'm done with you, you remember who your real master is. Oh, you got two, actually. Where'd the other one come from? Let's get rid of the mage. I'm guessing the lackeys stay there until I take these out. Gotta keep in mind, though, that I do probably have to protect Clea somewhat. Oh, you are one. Fight, you worthless sea slugs, or out of keyhole the lot of you. Carbuncle, go! There's one over here. Of course, my next charge is already going. Can I physic the carbuncle? Sort of. Its HP is so high. Doesn't really make a difference. You rabid little cur. Our numbers matter not. It is strategy that will win this battle. Prepare yourself, Dozemaga. With your defeat, I will cast off the shackles you closed on my soul. You think so, huh? Think your fancy magics are a match for my blade? You've got another thing coming. Depends where I stick the magics. I can't see shit. Go, Kirby! Why are you using a multi-hit attack on me? So I need to take out this one. Then I can go for you. Two Ruby Rains to kick ass, but you're probably already dead. Oh, dungeon gear. It's so much better than anything you can craft yourself. Dosmaga now faces defeat. Wait, Dosmaga now faces defeat. He will flee to the starboard rail. Obvious. Next comes his attempt to escape into the sea. You think pulling me strings, do you? I think I'll dance to your tune? I'm guessing we've already got cops underneath him. Well, I ain't falling for your bloody tricks. It's at this moment he notices the yellow jackets I had you summon in my explicit instructions to Ralzarin. Should've stayed on the bigger ship, dude. You're a fool to return, Dosmaga. I hear you're fond of shackles, so we brought a sped especially for you. Thus concludes today's lecture. Thank you, Bren. The strategy would not have succeeded without your flawless execution. Which suggests that my tactics yet require more work. One must allow for some small deviation in performance. I believe, however, that I now understand where my calculations went awry. It is not enough to wish to shape reality. One must also have a complete understanding of the reality one wishes to obtain. It's time I sought out our guildmaster. Wait, you aren't gonna swim, are you? You're gonna ruin your new grimoire! Again! Unless, of course, there's a boat. But in which case, ow! Pray convey to Miss Thurbergreen my fondest wishes and my appreciation for all that she has done for me. The true test of my strategies now begins. I guess she's a cat, so she lands on her feet. And her departure, passing in front of the sun, is symbolic of her new journey. Alright, back to the Arcanist Guild. Obtain my new abilities before I go on the path of Scholar. Since I'm going to be doing that before Summoner, just to make it easy on myself. Oh my god. Welcome back. There is much I would ask of you, but first, may I have the statue you received during your assessment? Odd leather satchel. The veil of mystery surrounding this otherwise ordinary sack is so thick it could suffocate an Auroch. The original owner needs her costume back, you see. I'll make sure everything is reunited safe and sound. Now let us speak of Clea. I'm glad to know that she has finally freed herself to pursue to her heart's desire, and you are to thank for awakening the Foreseer to her self-imposed fetters. The brilliance of Clea's strategy served to bind her to her own feelings, and it pained me to see her suffer so. Your example may even encourage Clea to improve her combat capabilities, although such will surely come in time. After all, she intends to study under the Guildmaster's direct instruction. Imagine those two obsessive Arcanists and the complexity of the tactics they'll develop. It may very well be that your actions in bringing them together will prove the catalyst that sparks a new era of invention in the art of Arcanima. I noticed too that his last name was Tia. Does it have any relation whatsoever to Grahatia? Or is that just an oopsie? You too should look to the improvement of your discipline if you are to keep pace with all that is certain to follow. To that end, I offer you a new technique. One I pray allows you to more readily drive back your foes on the battlefield. Anything good here? Nope, but we get Ruin 2, deals unaspected damage with a potence of 270. I don't know if it's different or if it just upgrades it. And Rune Mastery upgrades Rune to Rune 2. Oh, helps if I read, don't it? Probably just do more damage. More base damage. Tales of Magic. And next is technically Summoner, but that's not where I am going to be leaving it off. I have another quest I wish to do first, but for now, this concludes the Arcanist quests. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined. If you'd like to see more Final Fantasy XIV in the future, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye!